own. Own what you have, own your mind, own your heart, own your body.
Are you listening? Damn.
I am Toni Flores, and today we're talking about poetry. So when I was in preparatory, in elementary, there was this contest, in our school we'd have this poetry writing contest or writing contest. So for some reason, my class chose me. That time, poetry was just um, choosing words that rhyme, putting them into line. What I think inspired me to started my curiosity. After that, I just wrote um, poems about anything, about everything that I can see, about my stuff, about my grades. My poems back then were also not really about something unique in the Philippines or something particular in my country or in my culture. My favorite poet is Pablo Neruda. I really love him. And even more when I got to know his background, his history, because like me, he was very active in politics. So he would write about politics. He was a diplomat. And as everybody knows, he writes about love. And his poetry has something in it. Like, if you would compare it to other kinds of poetry who would use very difficult words and would tend to be very long and would tend to be very deep. Like, you'd have to read it so many times just to understand it. But Pablo Neruda gives you the same depth, but without the need to use these difficult words. It's so close to what I feel every day that he's using this um, very human feelings to put words together and to put lines together. And I think that's what I love about his poetry, and that's what I've been looking for in my poetry too. 3 or 4 years ago, when I met this poetry group in a concert, what I came to learn too when I started doing that is the freedom it gives you. Because compared to traditional poetry, you can have the liberty to use what I mentioned earlier, like really difficult words or like layers and layers of metaphor, because the person who would read it would have several times they would have several chances of reading the poem again. But when you perform something on stage, you have that one chance of making people relate to you. It has been one of my challenges too when I started doing the scene, because I had lots of ideas in my mind. I wanted to speak about a lot of things, about women's rights, feminism, about write about erotica. Where I'm coming from is I'm a political science major. So I'm used to theories, concepts, blah, blah, blah. But how do you actually translate this to a metaphor or to a creative language that is at the same time relatable? How do you elevate the language but still reach out to people's hearts? I performed this poem. It's about reproductive health. Its title is Mga Estranghera, so strangers. And the idea behind it is that women in the Philippines, I think, are not familiar to these choices that they can have regarding their body. And so the poem goes with these names of women, which are also names of pills, of contraceptives, and the writer asking these women if they know Althea, if they know Dayan. At the end, it's also about these women being strangers to themselves because they have been shaped to not own their body. So it was also a call as a woman, it was also a call to my fellow women to, look at yourself in the mirror and pick up those pieces of you that are scattered everywhere, and own own what you have, own your mind, own your heart, own your body. I wrote an English piece about um, the women, about the body too, and its title is Fridge. So actually, that time I was just challenging myself if I can write something that just popped up into my mind. And apparently, the fridge popped into my mind. And eventually, when I was writing it, okay, it's turning to be another feminist poem. And I was able to talk about the way people see other people as commodities, and the way we are fit into standards. Just like, when an appliance like a refrigerator is sold, they tell you, oh, it's sleek, it's tall, fat, it's thin. So the way marketing would try to sell things. As the poem progresses, at the end, it also talks about deconstructing this and reclaiming how, why not compare us to classical art? We're enduring, and we do not belong to a shopping cart. We are human. We are women. So I was most of the time, the fulfillment comes from having this opportunity to talk about what I love, and when people say that, hey, I experienced this too, and this kind of speaks about what I feel too, and that's what I enjoyed in doing spoken word poetry. So I'll read a part, and it's in Filipino from my poem Mga Estranghera. Babae, makinig ka. Hindi sa nakabibinging bulungan nila, kung hindi sa boses mong ipinit sa masikip na kabaong na ibinaon sa tigang na lupa ng kahapon. Babae, tignan mo sa mata, si Gabriela, si Alonsina at si Orduha. Huwag mo silang ituring na estranghera. Lumaya ka dyan sa hiram mong saya kay Maria Clara. Hindi siya binuhay sa nobela para isabuhay mo ang kanyang istorya. Babae, mag-isip ka. Gamit ang sarili mong diwa. Maglakbay ka gamit ang sarili mong paa. Magsulat ka gamit ang sarili mong pluma. Babae, pulutin mo ang nagkalag na piraso ng pagkatao mo. Paulit-ulit mong sabihin ang iyong pangalan, ang kilin mo ito. Hanggang sa maalala mo na ikaw ang natatanging may-ari ng isip, puso at katawan mo.